Hello everybody, it's the Screen Watcher here, and we are up for another review. This time we are taking it all the way back to 2001 to review the movie 61 Asterisks, starring Barry Pepper and Thomas Jane. This movie is all about the home run chase to break Babe Ruth's record in the year 1961. One of the movies that's near and dear to my heart as a baseball player and baseball fan. So let's just jump into the review. You have Barry Pepper, who plays Roger Maris, and you have Thomas Jane, who plays Mickey Mantle. Barry Pepper is best known for his role in Saving Private Ryan. Thomas Jane is probably best known for either The Punisher or being in Deep Blue Sea. He's been in a number of roles as well, but those are probably their biggest bills so far. The director was Billy Crystal. His directorial debut in this was phenomenal. He is a huge Yankees fan. He's a huge baseball fan. I got to see him on Broadway in his show 700 Sundays, where he talks about where he falls in love with baseball and the Yankees in particular. And when I saw this film, you can really see that translate over into how he directed it. The cool thing about this movie is not only does it tell you the story of these two great baseball players chasing after another historic figure in baseball and Babe Ruth, but it tells you a lot about the history of the sport and kind of how people wanted to protect Babe Ruth and some of the figures in the sport. So what I mean by that is the asterisk part of the title. So a lot of people don't know that as the sport evolved, they elongated the seasons. They did things like, you had night games, they traveled more, things like that seem commonplace now. That didn't happen back in Babe Ruth's era. That didn't happen back in the 60s when Roger Maris and these players played. So when Babe Ruth, one of the biggest names in baseball, the biggest name in baseball, everybody knows who Babe Ruth is, except for Scotty Smalls and the Sandlot. So everybody knows who Babe Ruth is. They wanted to protect this record, so they came up with the asterisk rule, that if any record is broken beyond the term of the old season length, there would be an asterisk next to the actual record in the book, so there would be two separate records to protect the integrity of the game. And this movie shows how much pressure there was on these guys, both Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris, to break the record in the season and in the amount of time that the Babe did it. How much pressure there is on athletes everywhere, not just in baseball, but it really does take a peek behind the curtain and show you just how much pressure these people go through on a day-to-day basis. It makes you think a little bit about LeBron James and what he's gone through sometimes, and just different sports, and the Williams sisters, and how to stay on top all the time. It's just crazy. And Roger Maris was not a Yankee type of player. He came from the Kansas City Athletics at the time, and before that he was a Cleveland Indian. He was more of a small town, rural kind of guy, and then he came to the Yankees, and he wasn't a New York big city kind of guy, whereas Mickey Mantle is the Yankees. He loved that big city life. He loved to go out and drink and meet people and hang out with the girls and bring girls home and that kind of stuff. And Roger just wasn't that way. He had a family. He had kids. He had everything like that. And the movie showed how Roger kind of helped Mickey get over some stuff and focus on the game and become more of a leader. And it was really cool to see that, because I didn't know a lot about that. And it's a really historically accurate movie, and that's another reason why I credit Billy Crystal with doing such a good job on this movie. It's a phenomenal film. If you love the sport of baseball, whether you love or hate the Yankees, which I'm not a lover of the Yankees, it's a great movie. But I know in my lifetime we got to see the home run race between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, and that was one of the funnest things to just follow along with. We would race home and try to turn on the TV and find the game to see if they were up to bat. You know, we were switching radio stations to not miss their at bats. And that was so exciting at the time, and nobody cared. And then we had the Bonds era, and then the whole asterisk thing came up again at that point, where, you know, the steroid era and all that kind of stuff is, you know, do we want to hold those records, the same kind of thing? It's a very interesting thing going on with sports today, just like it was then. You know, is it the same kind of stuff? So if you like sports, you should check it out. If you like baseball, 100% check it out. If you just like good movies, it's a great movie. I really enjoyed it. You should check it out. It's probably in a $5 bin as well. So it's a cheap movie to go find, I would say. If baseball's not your thing, you're probably not going to like it. But, you know, baseball's near and dear to my heart. Not only that, but I love Barry Pepper. He's been great in everything. Thomas Jane, again, also phenomenal in everything he's been in. It's a good ride. I enjoyed it. But if you've seen it and you hated it, let me know. You know, comment down below. You know, we'll have an argument. That'll be fun. If you've seen it and loved it, that'd be great. Comment down below as well. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you always know when I'm putting out new content. I never know when I'm going to post new videos. It always just kind of happens whenever I get the time. So what did you think of it if you've seen it? If you haven't, you know, go out and see it. Other than that, hopefully your popcorn is always fresh and you have a wonderful day at the cinema, whether it's out or at your home. I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks.